with our topic today, practicing non-attachment for a fulfilled life. And just listening to that last beautiful chant, that I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm not these senses, immortal self am I. That's pretty powerful, and that pretty much is the nutshell right within of what it is talking about non-attachment. Because on this planet and world, there's a continual evolution of consciousness going on. And in humanity, in beings, it predominantly is right now of a physical consciousness, awareness of our body, our mind, our senses. You can go to any store or turn on any television, and it's very much attracting. Every advertisement is attracting the body, the senses, the mind. Who are we without that? This is what we're going to talk about. Because that physical consciousness of the body, mind, and senses is ruled, for the most part, by the self-conscious will of our ego and its unending desires and attachments to possess all the desires, the sensory attachments in the quest to find happiness. Our sensory world is very powerful. The things we want to watch, the things we want to listen to or read, the things we want to eat. It's a powerful, beautiful part of creation. But it also, if ruled by the ego, it can create a lot of suffering. Because the ego doesn't know who it is, doesn't know I am. But it has strong desires. And in this world of body, mind, and senses, it's temporary, it's impermanent. We leave these behind. So everyone wants lasting happiness, but everything in this world is temporary. The only place of changeless is our immortal soul, the I am within us, that divine seed of the divinity within us is changeless. It is and will always be. It's the pure self. And this is the place to find everlasting happiness, joy, and peace. And this is the spiritual journey of finding and realizing that place of us that is real, that immortal pure self within us. And it needs to be awakened. It needs to be lit like a candle. And it needs to begin to grow. From this physical consciousness, it can continually to grow into the realization of realizing that we are not these bodies living in our homes and driving our cars and looking at our phones and all these things. We have infinity within us. We can expand our consciousness to the highest realms of awareness and consciousness. We are the bubble on the sea of life. And that bubble can merge into that sea of life and consciousness. It's pretty awesome to even imagine this awareness of who we truly are. And this is why we want to meditate, because little by little it's beginning to awakening our further and further awareness of who we truly are and the power we have to be able to create a heaven on this earth. As we go forth and truly practice our spiritual practice, our meditation. And it's very helpful to have a supportive community that encourages you onward and to be of service, to be of selfless service, to work without the ego. The Bhagavad Gita states, attachment is the root cause of all human suffering. And this is why we meditate, to realize we truly are that power we have within us. It's a consciousness within us. Heaven is not out there somewhere that someday we're hoping to go to. Heaven is the higher realms right within us that we can aspire to and realize, right, while we are still in this physical body with the gift of these senses in mind. This is possible. The hell is within us also, as we are controlled by our senses and our ego and grasping, desiring things that maybe we shouldn't be reaching for. Desires, greed, lust, anger, uncontrolled anger. These things can be a living hell within us that we can carry with us. If we get entangled in the physical world of desires, with the blind ego in charge, and where our attachments are controlling us. Non-attachment doesn't mean we don't own anything or enjoy the beauty of this creation. It means we don't allow things or thoughts to own us. We are the capsulation of the whole creation right within our being. And by including the consciousness and light of our Creator within us, we truly can enjoy the miracle of this creation, for we have found the key to lasting happiness. When my husband was ready to leave his body for his flight into eternity, he knew where he was going, and there was no fear. I didn't want him to go and probably was holding on in my thoughts. And he said to me, Patty, I'm not going anywhere. And at first I thought, oh, I thought he was going somewhere. But then I realized what he said, because where is there to go when the kingdom of God is right within you. And we are the encapsulation of creation. It's all right within our consciousness that we exist within. And as we begin to work on the process of evolving our consciousness, these things begin to open up and we begin to understand this. For the entire creation, the kingdom of God is within us, as the Christ consciousness in Jesus stated. I want to play a segment of Norm's talk. It's a very short segment, but I wanted you to put this in.
In the image of God created he them. We are the offspring of I am that I am. We are the encapsulation of the whole creation. It exists within each one of us interdimensionally. There is no place to go out there. There is a place to go within yourself, to the light that created you and is manifesting you today.
Om is a name for God. Om, lead me from the unreal to the real. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me from death to immortality. From the Upanishads. Lead me from the unreal consciousness, the unreal world, into the real world of awakening into these realms of consciousness. Lead me from the darkness of ignorance into thy light of consciousness. Awaken within me. Lead me from death to the realization of my immortality. Being present and mindful of your thoughts is a practice of non-attachment. And you may have heard this story, but I would like to repeat it, of the story of the two monks. There were two monks traveling along on their journey together, and they came to a river crossing that was, at that time, had a very strong current. And there was a young, beautiful woman there that was having a difficult time crossing the current and asked the monks for help. The senior monk immediately picked her up and carried her across the river and gently put her down. And then the two monks continued their journey. The young monk couldn't believe what he just saw. And they continued to walk for an hour, and then another hour. And then the young monk couldn't wait any longer at the third hour and said to the elder monk, "How could you touch that woman? We are monks." And the elder monk said, "I left her at the river crossing. Why are you still carrying her?" And what this means is how we carry in our mind judgments, past hurts, holding on to resentments, when the only person we are truly hurting is ourselves. Things that bother us and haunt us, how that thought just keeps irritating us and irritating us. And most likely, in the practice of meditation, you've come across this at times with troubling or disturbing thoughts that just keep buzzing in like a fly, coming in and mosquito stinging you. But the key is to catch the moment that that thought begins to rise again. without reacting to it and refusing to engage with it, and just to let it go, let it pass through. It takes practice, but it can happen. And it's very freeing because it lets you be able to enjoy that present moment of now. Because in this present moment, those thoughts cannot exist. And this is the place of power, the place of deep connection. This is where the key of happiness, peace, and joy exists. Divine love. But those disturbing thoughts, as they fly around, will not allow you to enter the present moment of now. And when you learn this, it's very freeing. And to remember, those thoughts need your attention and energy to stay alive. So to become unattached to those thoughts, when you learn this, you can become unattached to all kinds of thoughts that would otherwise dominate your mind. And then you can become aware and enjoy the present moment, not the past, not the future, but the now. Enjoy it. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And this is a practice of non-attachment, not to be attached to those thoughts. We can do it. Enjoy this presence, this space of pure consciousness. Another important practice in non-attachment is selfless service, karma yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, it states, "Those who follow the path of service, who have completely purified themselves and conquered their senses and self-will, see the higher self in all creatures and are untouched by any action they perform. Those who know this truth, whose consciousness is unified, think always, I am not the doer." Mahatma Gandhi stated, "Do your best and leave the results to God." And Eknath Easwaran stated, "The key is simple to understand, but difficult to practice. The purpose of work is to learn to work hard without ego involvement at all." Stilling the mind is simply another way of expressing this, for nothing stirs up the mind except the ego. When you are working with one-pointed attention, for example, that in itself helps to slow the thoughts in the mind. To be focused while working, not thinking of everything else around you or what you can be doing later or what you did yesterday, but to be present in what you are doing. When you do not gauge what you do by what you like or dislike, you are turning your back on the ego, which will make it easier to steady your mind. And the best work is prompted not by the profit motive, but by love. Perform actions with the intention of serving others without expecting anything in return. And as we go about our work, we all probably set our goals and have a plan to achieve those goals. But if we become overly attached to these outcomes, it can create a discomfort or a suffering in the present because you're living in the future if you're just looking at that goal. You want to enjoy the journey. You can have the goal, but this is where you surrender to the divine in your work, because that may change. And to be listening inwardly and do your work, because that allows you to stay in the present and enjoy and be grateful for the gifts that you have been given and the life you have been given, instead of reaching for something in the future that hasn't happened yet. So it's important, again, to be here now. Enjoy the present moment and reflect on everything you are grateful for. Before we go into our meditation, I'd like to give the story that's in the Bhagavad Gita about the chariot and the rider. And the chariot is our body, and the charioteer is the divinity within us, the Christ or Krishna consciousness, that Christ consciousness, that seed that we are working on awakening within us, that will help awaken the evolution of our consciousness. That spark of God within us, the divine seed of God within us, is a charioteer. And it is holding the reins of 5 wild horses. And those wild horses are our senses. And the reins are our mind. And it's given up to the hands. We've surrendered to the divinity within us, that Christ consciousness that we are striving to awaken, and leave it out of the hands of the self-conscious ego. And we are the rider, the warrior, the mover of going forth in our work in this battle of life, this joy of life. And it's a wonderful imagery to remember of the wild horses of our senses being held in the reins of our mind, in the hands of the divine divinity within us, the Christ center, the Christ consciousness, the Krishna consciousness. And we are the warrior right behind that consciousness, doing our work here, moving away from the self-conscious ego and offering all we are to the higher power to work through us, to work through our hands, to work through our heart, our mind, our thoughts. And this is the key to everlasting peace and happiness. Before we go into a meditation, I'd like us to just listen to a verse by our teacher, Norm Paulson.
The self-conscious mind always wants to be disobedient. It doesn't want to meditate. It doesn't want to spend the time. It doesn't want to sit. It doesn't want the inconvenience. It always wants to pursue restlessness. Running after this, running after that for what? No place to go, nothing to do really. A hole in the ground waits for all of us. We better find out now. Rein in that self-conscious mind. Rein it in and make it sit down and be still. Pray for the divine to reveal that light. Reach up to the crown of the head and open the door. Let those powerful vortexes of life force spin into you through the crown of your head, that place that was open and beating when you were little children, babes. That's the mouth of God. That's where it's at. That's what sustains us here. We don't even know it. It keeps our heart beating, our senses functioning. It'll give power to the higher brain to rule over the self-conscious mind. It'll let us evolve into our true nature.
Let us take these messages into our meditation as we prepare to enter into about a 15-minute of silent meditation and to do your practice. And for those that don't have a meditation technique, to just be able to sit and connect with your breath. Just notice the inhaling breath and the exhaling breath. And to keep the gaze at the point of concentration, the third eye, the Christ center, the spiritual eye, the single eye that Jesus spoke of. And thoughts may come and go, but remember, just allow them to pass through. Observe them and let them go. And be here in this presence as you work with your breath. Stay present and aware as we offer this prayer to our Creator. Oh Spirit, please be here now. Awaken within us your presence, your consciousness. We are your children, made in your image and likeness. Please awaken within us the realization of who we truly are and the power we have to truly create a heaven within us and on this earth. Be with us now. Open our heart so that we can feel you moving through us. You are closer to us than the breath we breathe, than the thoughts we think. You are there behind it all. can see while we meditate, as you draw the senses inward with control, not being attached to allowing them to control you. You become aware of thoughts that might rise, but without getting attached to the thought, just letting it pass through, not reacting, not engaging, letting it move through. By being present in the moment of now and opening your heart and stilling your mind, you truly tap into the key of calm, of peace, of happiness, everlasting. As you tap in to the divine source living within us all. This is why we meditate. To stay here in the middle of the duality of life around us. To be able to act and do our work by being actively calm and calmly active through the practice of non-attachment. I'd like to end the service by another short moment of Norm talking at a meditation.
We can ask ourselves why we are here today in these bodies on this planet. Why did Divine Spirit create all of which we see, including ourselves? It becomes obvious to me that Divine Spirit wanted to walk on the worlds it had projected and created within these bodies that we find ourselves today. In other words, the divine set forth to create an existence for itself on this world, being fully conscious in us, in each one of us. There has been a state of evolution that has been going on here on this planet, where the evolved animal forms have moved on into simple consciousness and finally into self-consciousness. And mankind now today, standing on the threshold of cosmic consciousness, Christ consciousness, nirvana.
So this journey is for all of us. This gift is for us all. And just want to feel the gratitude of being present in this space of presence right now. And allow that grace to come through and into us all, so that we have the power, the realization to use our hands, our senses, our heart, and our gift of our mind to go forth and be of service to others and to help uplift the consciousness that is so needed on this planet today. and to take care of our own bodies and minds in the process. Namaste, Om, Amen.
Soham Shivaham, 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 Soham Shivaham. I am that I am, 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 I am that I am. I'm neither body nor mind, immortal self I am. I'm neither body nor mind, immortal self I am. I'm neither body nor mind, immortal self I am. I'm neither body nor mind, immortal self I am. I'm neither body nor mind, immortal self I am. I am that I am, Soham Shivaham. I'm neither body nor mind, immortal self I am. I am that I am, Soham Shivaham. Soham Shivaham, 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 Soham Shivaham. I am that I am, 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 Shivoham. I am that I am.